Glasses clink in a well-lit tavern as noble-born scholars cheer after a long day of tutelage. Here, in the patron's pocket, students of magistrates all along Barrister's Alley carouse after their studies. Cheery revelry can be heard from down the street as a sly lurk runs his fingers along purses and pockets, filling his own with coin. And across the street, and down the lane, Lady Drake slips out of the bright lamplight and into the shadows beyond. Welcome to the Fool's Chronicle. I am Sean Timboken Flowers. I am your dungeon master.
I am Olivia Manning, and I play Ivanka Dove.
I am Dylan Manning. I play Mariah Cardera.
I am Ren French. I play Orlin Wright.
Storm.
Yeah.
It is the end of a long day for you, and you find yourself walking down the streets of Char Hollow. It is the hour of song, and Char Hollow is in full swing. Around you, you see workers from factories and dockers settling in, and after returning home from their jobs, stoves run hot as street vendors hawk cheap food for workers with meager coin. Kids play games that you probably used to play down the streets, and you, Storm, are walking home. What does your home look like?
So, Storm lives in Char Hollow, which is not the best neighborhood.
No.
Not that there's really a good option in Duskwall. So, it's very crowded, so they never would get much space there. So they have comparatively a very reasonably sized apartment, but like if anyone from a place like Charter Hall or any place with actual buildings saw it, it would be like the size of a living room. It's, it's an apartment, so it's part of this tall building. They're near one of the lower floors, which is good because I imagine that Char Hollow has the type of problem where they kind of just keep building up. So the top floors tend to get a little rickety and maybe not the most up to code.
Not that there's like a really good code in Dustfall.
That's a good point. But inside the apartment, it's a reasonably sized apartment. So they've got like a little kitchen area, a small den, and then off to the side, like a small hallway with 2 bedrooms.
College students be like, this room the size of someone's living room is actually great. This is spacious.
Have you considered that Charter Hall is full of rich people, so I imagine their living rooms are kind of fucking massive?
They don't have living rooms, they have like foyers.
They have foyers.
It's a really,
Same hat, dude.
That's the point that defines rich.
Alright, sorry, let me say that entire thing. Anyway, so her apartment is about the size of like, someone from Charter Hall's foyer.
And what is your family like?
So my parents both lived and met in Severos, so they're both kind of, like, tough as nails, like, don't really take shit from people. I wonder where Storm got it from. They moved away from Severos because it was, like, a dangerous place, and there wasn't a lot of, like, stable employment or stable living. Correct me if I'm getting any of this wrong, but this is what I'm pretty sure Severos is like.
Yeah, it depends on where you are, I think. But
so they moved to Duskwall to be like, alright, if we're gonna have a child, gotta have a life that can sustain a child.
Right.
Ultimately, those instincts and lifestyle never fully left them, so they're just very rough and tumble, and like, they're getting older, so they don't go out and pick fights. If someone were to step into their home and try and do anything against their code, they'd be like, alright, are you here to fucking go?
I think it's also like a very Char Hollow way of living is like the citizenry in Char Hollow is really tough. Like dockers, factory workers. Do they work?
Yes. They both have jobs, but once again, I cannot stress enough, they're not criminals. This is Storm's individual career path. I think that his dad is probably, like, a bartender or something for some tavern or bar down the way.
Okay.
And her mom, I'm not actually sure what her mom does. I'm trying to think of, like, a job.
Factory workers are a really good one.
Sure,
items.
okay. Her mom is, like, a factory worker. And I think occasionally, if need be, they've picked up odd jobs, but...
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
No.
Okay. So you walk into your home, and as you do, you hear the sounds of bickering, but not in like a aggressive way. It's bickering in a way that's like jovial. They kind of always take the shit out of each other. So you hear like, if you just let me cook, I'll figure it out. I just gotta, dude, you don't understand. You have to, and no, I got it. I can, hey, I've been doing this for years. How long? Years. Hey, I used to do this back home. Huh?
Pa, what do you think you know better than Ma?
Ma says, your ma, my wife, says, I don't know how to make black buns. It's black rice, and, like, it just, hey, Mirai, come in here. Look at this.
I look.
You see a very normal scene in your home. Your kitchen is a mess. Whenever your pa's cooking, it's a mess. So there's things everywhere, like pots just left out, things that you like shouldn't even be used are like covered in like sticky rice. And, he's currently steaming some rice in a pot.
Gonna have to back Ma on this one. Don't have to tell you, Pop.
I can't catch a break in this home.
Where did you even, I didn't know we owned some of this stuff.
Hey, look, we don't have a lot, alright? I'm doing what I can with what we have.
Why do you have a cheese grater out?
It's for the, look, that was my bad, honestly. I shouldn't have, you look at his, face as he turns around towards you, and he has like a black eye.
Pop, what happened to you?
Oh, this, and he touches it and he kind of winces. And he goes, look, rough spot at Kellen's today. I work the bar. They don't like the same management. And I, had to dust these off. And he kind of cracks his knuckles.
Jesus, did you win?
Hey, don't ask me dumb questions. And you see your mom kind of come over and dab at his eye with a cloth. And she goes, your pa always wins.
All right.
And he winces but smiles.
Well, if you're serving shit like this at the bar again, I can understand why it happened, though.
Go to your room. No. You're an adult. I can't do that to you anymore. And your mom turns to you and goes, Storm, honey, can you take the trash out really quick? I need to clean up this mess.
Yeah, for sure. I do so.
As you take the trash out and take it out, I imagine there's like trash cans in an alleyway, like back behind your house.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You take it out. As you go down into this back alleyway, you are suddenly socked in the back of your head.
Whoa.
You stumble to your knees as you reel from the hit, and as you look up, you see two cutters bearing down on you.
I'm gonna fight back.
Uh-huh.
I think that in this case, if I was, like, at home, I wouldn't have, like, my big weapons, because they're either probably in my room or, like, at 6 hours. So, but I probably do have, like, my brass knuckles.
Okay, nice.
So I'm gonna use my brass knuckles, and I'm just gonna start fucking swinging.
As you stand up with your brass knuckles, you see behind these two cutters Grace, your rival.
Fuck.
She is staring at you with this smug grin, and she just raises her hand, and you see the two cutters just take a step back from you. And she goes, heard your little gang has been doing scores. Heard you had a nice little score out in Charter Hall of all places.
And why do you care?
She laughs, like a little chortle. And she just strides towards you and grabs you by the scruff of your neck. Grace is much smaller than you. And looking at her right now, you could absolutely deck her.
I'm gonna make this very clear to all of you and all of our listeners. There is nothing that Mirai would love more right now than to absolutely just fucking kill her,
destroy
frankly.
this woman.
But they do know that they have to, like, not pick fights they can't win. And while they may be able to absolutely destroy this woman, it would only do bad things for them.
Yeah. And she just grabs you by the scruff of your neck. And she goes, Look, Mirai. I just want you to know that you and your little gang better stay out of my way. And she pushes back against you. And I don't even think you stumble. Just such a weak, pushback. And she steps away from you. And the cutters follow suit.
Fucking asshole. I finish throwing out the trash. As they're walking away, I flip them off.
They don't even look back at you.
No, I know. This is purely for me. And then do I have, a lasting, am I bleeding, or did any lasting impression that I just got hit by those cutters?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. I kind of, scruff my hair to just make sure nothing happened. Then I go back upstairs.
Alright. A few days later, you all are in your lair, Dove's home, and you are discussing the dossier on the magistrate that Lady Drake wants dead. As a reminder, this score is via, I believe, accident or disappearance.
Yes.
And is within Charter Hall.
So kind of our vibe.
Yeah.
So what do we gain information-wise from this dossier that we're looking at?
You open up this DOS and it includes a few things. Includes a charcoal sketch of the person you're going to accident. It also includes their name, Magistrate Arlen Welker, and just some basic information. You see it notes that they are generally withdrawn from social circles, seem very paranoid, and was seen dealing with a low-tier gang.
It doesn't say what gang?
No. When Lady Drake talked to you about this, you seem to think that she might have known more than she let on.
Interesting and unhelpful.
Interesting and unhelpful.
Yeah. It seems like this is kind of a test for you as a gang.
So, we have a high-ranking weirdo with some strange and potentially harmful connections. It seems too easy. Well, if none of you have plans, I have someone I need to go talk to.
By all means.
Go for it.
Thank you. Storm, you left your bat in my kitchen last night? Why did this... This is my house.
You haven't bought me a bat cabinet yet.
I'm sorry, you need a cabinet for your one fucking bat?
Oh, you didn't find the axe. Okay.
I'm leaving. And I begin my trek to Debonair's.
Let's see. Debonair probably lives in the Crow's Foot.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. You end up in a small little home, basically a hovel in the middle of Tangletown.
Oh, my little meow meow.
Yeah, this is your information gathering phase, by the way, which you've kind of spearheaded here, where you're going to be looking for information on the score. So I imagine you're going to do an information roll here of some kind.
And because we are in our ideal location, we get some sort of bonus to this?
I think because you're not doing your ideal operation, you don't.
We have to be doing both to get whatever the bonus is.
That's so unfair.
Especially because you didn't let us do it last time when we were doing both.
I'm sorry, I forgore.
Fine.
Unprofessional.
But it doesn't make sense for you guys to just, murder this guy.
We're not gonna murder.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I knock on the door of Debonair's place.
Yeah. So you are talking to Debonair. You knock on his door, I imagine.
Yeah. Very politely.
And he opens the door. I don't know if we described him much yet. He's a big guy. Kind of takes up the whole doorway because it's a small doorway. But he's a big guy. And he goes, Dove, I didn't expect to see you.
Can I ask you a favor?
Do you want to come inside first?
Absolutely.
He invites you in. I feel like Debonair lives in a really
just the
shitty
worst home.
Yeah. I think it's one room, the studio apartment of hovels.
Yeah. The bachelor pad of hovels.
Yeah. He, like, sits on the bed and then, like, offers you, like, a chair at a desk. But the desk is made of, like, rotten wood that's been, like, battered together, and, like, it's a metal chair made out of scrap.
I sit down on it, but I don't feel good about it.
Sorry, I'd offer you. Do you want to sit on a pillow?
I'm fine. Really. I think that I took the dossier when I left my home, because it's my home and I do what I want. And I gesture it towards him. This man has been doing some sort of dealings with a lower-ranking gang. He's sort of a strange man, keeps to himself. I would like you to find out whatever you can about this man and his dealings.
He kind of takes a good look at the picture and notes the name and goes, "When do you need the information by?"
Did Drake give us a deadline?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then I kind of take a second, then I smile and I say, "Take your time."
All right. Then I'll see you in a few days over a glass of wine.
Sounds wonderful. You know the way.
Yeah, I do. He looks over to the side, chuckling and kind of like pondering something. And he looks back at you and he goes, You had something to do with that score in Charter Hall last week, right?"
I don't know what you're talking. I want this, Debonair, and I'm going to do what I need to do to get it.
Yeah, it sounds like you.
I should go.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you for everything, I guess.
You get up to leave, and right as you get to the door, you hear him say, "Dove?" And you turn back, and you see him sitting on the corner of his bed, and it probably is like the smallest you've ever seen him. And he looks at you, and he goes, "Just be careful out there."
I always am.
Let's do a fortune roll to see how much information Debonair gathers.
Awesome.
I'm going to give it 1 die for just him. I think that, like, he's definitely, like, tuned in to criminal activities and to the Crow's Foot being, like, a very central place for criminal activity. I'm going to give it another die as well. Yeah, it's not great.
Oh.
Do we get to know what that number is?
Yeah, it's not great. A few days later, you meet up with Debonair.
My house or his?
A discreet location in the silver market.
Right.
And he tells you that Magistrate Welker has been seen dealing with the crows in the Crow's Foot. And that's kind of all you get.
Secretive man, huh?
Yeah. I've seen him go into the basement of this building. I've never been able to get in myself. It's kind of deep in crow's turf, and I'm not welcome in a lot of criminal circles these days. Kind of Baz and all that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for trying. I'll let you know how it goes.
What is everyone else doing for information gathering?
I specifically asked him about the deal with the crows, right? I didn't ask him to find out, like, where he lives or where he works, right?
No, not really. Though I think you could probably find this guy's home.
Okay. I could dox this guy if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I would like to find that information then, if it's easy enough for me, Ivanka Dove, real human woman, to get.
Yeah, I think that this guy falls within your hunting grounds. You find this guy's home. I mean, from the outside, you can't really get much out of it, but it's a home. He lives on the same street as Lady Drake. Not like city block, but like the same street. This kind of row of magistrate houses that are often frequented by scholars in school to learn how to be magistrates or, barristers, law official people that do law things.
I think Orlin is going to try and, like, as subtly as possible, look like a beggar and tail him to try and figure out, like, what his day-to-day generally looks like.
For Arlen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Let's see. I think you're going to roll an action roll for this. What skill are you thinking of using here?
Well, I was thinking of Prowl, probably.
Prowl does make the most sense.
Can I give Orlin... I have a fine disguise kit.
Ooh.
Can I, give that to him for this moment?
Can you grease me up?
Yeah.
I could grease you up. I'm usually more proficient in making people look better than they normally would, but I imagine it's the same concept.
Are you sure that he doesn't have to look better to be a beggar?
No, I chose beggar because there's not a big difference between a here and there.
Still, it would be nice if you didn't, look like you.
Yeah, that would be the goal.
Yeah, I'll let you use this disguise kit. I think that'll make things easier for Orlin in ways that I'll describe, depending on how Orlin rolls.
Grind me up, boss.
Yeah, I grime him up a little bit.
But Prowl makes sense. I will say this is risky, and I'll set your effect at standard.
All right, and... Well, I rolled really great last time. That's a double, too.
Double twos!
That's 2
Yeah.
twos, baby!
Is
That's
double
no
something?
good.
Is that Yahtzee?
That's no good as far
Yahtzee.
as that goes.
Kind of a Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Maybe a whoopsie.
Yeah, on a risky roll, on a 1 to 3, things go badly, you suffer harm, a complication occurs, you end up in a desperate position, you lose this opportunity. Here's what happens. You do this, outfit, and you wait outside this guy's home, and you realize after maybe 2-3 days, this guy just does not leave his home a lot ever. You wait 3 days, nothing. The 4th day, you're just waiting out there. I imagine every day you're like, Dove, can you do the makeup again? And Dove is like, okay. I say doing impressions of your characters. On that 4th day, you see Arlen leave the house, and he has 3 rough-looking people accompanying him. You see him kind of go down the street, turn a corner, and as you're tailing this guy, you turn that corner, and one of the roughs just grabs you by the scruff of your neck and goes, "Sorry, but Magistrate Welker doesn't take well to followers," and kind of pushes you away.
No, okay. Could he be willing to spare something for a poor beggar?
You see another one of the toughs. They're not cutters necessarily, because I guess they could be cutters, but they're definitely bodyguards.
Tax-paying cutters.
Tax-paying cutters. Turns around and kind of rolls up her sleeves.
A simple no would suffice. I'll leave you all to your business. A good day.
And he hobbles off.
So, how was day 4 of pretending to be poorer than you are?
Well, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is he finally left his house. The bad news is he travels with an entourage, and they are scary and made of a lot of meat. They are very beefy.
Yeah. I will give you this as well. These guards are higher tier than you. You can tell. You can't really tell how much higher tier, but higher tier than you. And I think tier is also a thing in the world as well. I think people will just talk in tier.
Yeah.
But to clarify what that means for you all is that you have limited effect against people, things, gangs in general that are higher tier than you, just because they're better than you.
Don't have to rub it in.
You can even the scales on that. Things like fine materials help. That upgrades your functional tier for whatever role you're using it for, up by 1.
Yeah, no, they would whoop our asses. They're at least a tier up. I don't know how strong, but it would go poorly if we got caught with our pants down. Honestly, the best option might be to go into the house.
Yes, that is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the crows might be bit too much of a liability in terms of whatever he's doing there. Unless we can find some way to just blackmail whatever he has going on. But I don't have any connections to the Crows, and I don't know if either of you have any connections with the Crows.
I would rather we don't fuck with the Crows currently.
You know what? I am perfectly fine not fucking with the Crows. So, let me really quickly look up what tier the Crows are and figure out
2.
exactly.
Okay. Which I honestly thought they would be higher, considering the name of a place.
Yeah.
I do want to see what Storm is going to do.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, ain't it? So...
Storm, I have a request, and you can deny this request if you would like.
Good start.
There seems to be a bit of flurry around the idea of young magistrates-to-be, you know? So, here is my thought. Maybe I can dress you up to look, at least, somewhat law-abiding, and you can maybe find out if there's a way that this young magistrate upstart can maybe find her way into this magistrate's office?
I can try that.
Wonderful. This fine disguise kit is getting its use today.
Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say, so when I come to you and ask for a disguise, I get all grimy and all nasty, and of course when Storm, you know what, egg on my face, I guess.
So Storm, what are you doing?
So it seems like the plan is currently to dress me up like a magistrate scholar kind of deal.
Like a real child?
I still think these magistrate scholars are like college aged, right?
Yeah.
Which is Storm's age.
Which is why I have asked you to do it, because I am a middle-aged woman and Orlin is dust.
Yeah, the only problem with this is that I have to talk to people, and I have approximately 1 dot in any kind of talk skill.
Well, here's the good news for you, Dylan, is that I have fine clothes and jewelry and a fine disguise kit. So if I can hand both of those off to you at this moment, you have a little bit of leverage.
So what I'm thinking is Storm gets dressed up as this little magistrate person.
If anyone asks your name, say something stupid, but like in a rich person way and not in a dumb fuck
Joffrey?
way. Okay, let's try again.
Reginald.
Okay, sure.
Arm stammer.
Do you want to try maybe one more time? Maybe third time's the charm for this one?
Reginald. Glass horse.
Okay, sure. I'm done. I'm done dealing.
Of the Glass
I
Horse
wash my
family.
hands of you, Reginald Glasshorse.
One little peek behind the curtains is that my least favorite part of character creation is naming them.
So to have to come up with a new name on the spot must be...
It's the main reason I'm
Your
afraid to
personal
ask Sean
hell.
for more friends. What if he asked me to name them?
Because you'll have to make them.
It's fucked up too, because I have a book to the left of me that has a bunch of names in it. And yet I make you name them.
There's Reginald arm stammer on it.
Hey, Reginald Glasshorse.
You know what? Son of a bitch, he's right here.
Arm stammer is my middle name. It was my mother's maiden name.
It's a whole thing.
Of the Armstammer family.
I mean the Glass Horse family.
No, my mother was on the Armstammer family. My father is of the Glass Horse family.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
This is good. If anyone asks you, this is exactly what you say. Maybe not exactly what you say, but in the ballpark.
Anyway.
Also, hand me all of your weapons right now.
Can I keep the brass knuckles?
No.
Fuck. Do you have a bat cabinet yet?
While you are out, I will delegate a cabinet to be the weapon cabinet.
I hand over my weapons.
Thank you. Reginald.
But of course.
Oh, God.
So,
Boo.
so Reginald Armstammer Glasshorse, you
You sure are Reginald Armstammer
You sure are.
Hey, if none of you guys are willing to extend a hand in naming anyone, this is where we end up.
Okay, so Reginald, you are in front of Reginald, who I'm sure will be a long-standing and fun character we're gonna revisit later. Storm, you are in front of the home of Magistrate Welker.
Well, I mean, what would I know about, like... I feel like this is kind of, if not common knowledge, something someone who wants to kill people in Charter Hall, would be knowledgeable about. How does that process happen?
This feels like something you actually would not know a lot about, as far as, like, academics within Charter Hall.
That's true. This is more academics than politics.
Yeah. What you might have surmised from talking to Lady Drake about this, maybe, is that oftentimes a patron of a noble family will pay a magistrate to give tutelage to their child, like an apprenticeship, sort of. And the reason why Magistrate Welker needs to go is because he's been courting one of Lady Drake's patrons.
Okay. So, here is sort of what I'm thinking, Storm. Reginald, sorry, I have to keep you in character, or else you'll, I don't know, kill somebody. Here's my thought. You arrive to this man's home office, and sort of make as if you are kind of a big man on campus, right? You, of course, everyone has heard of the arm stabber glass horse family line, and you would simply like to request.
Wait, no, hold on. That implies... I'm sorry. That implies that is a tied-together family and has been for a long time.
Everyone's heard of this man specifically.
I am my family line.
And his power and his influence. And just, I don't know, see what that gets you. Maybe it gets you a meeting. Maybe it gets you to figure out what the hell his house looks like on the inside. I don't know. We're grasping at straws here, Reginald.
Okay.
Yeah. You are in front of Magistrate Welker's home. It is early. I'm gonna say maybe like
Hey, Sean,
9?
what hour is that?
9. The numerical number 9.
Oh, the other ones,
because
okay.
the other ones are after
It
dusk.
doesn't have a fun word to go?
No, then it would be like...
Okay.
It would be like 3, because it would be the one after dawn, so like it'd be like 3.
How is
It's
there
3.
dawn if there's no sun?
This is a really weird lore thing. The sun lights up
Just a
a little bit. The broken, shattered pieces of the sun light up a little bit twice a day. And then in the hour after that, it's all fog, like in the whole entire city. It's called, quote, blind hour, and oftentimes people take breaks during
just
those
like real
times.
life London.
Just like real life London? Yeah, it's like the hour of 3. And you pull up to Magistrate Welker's home. It's a home.
Great. How could this go
What
wrong?
are you doing?
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Great. It's locked.
I said knock.
You don't immediately get a response.
I'll wait a few seconds before trying anything else.
Nada.
Okay.
You see some other, like, scholars walking down the street as well. They're probably going to other magistrates' homes.
I'm trying to figure out how I should blend in with other scholars, because I need to talk to this guy, but also, like...
You also don't know if this guy has any scholars.
Okay, I have a question about how this, like, apprenticeship program would work before I make any big moves here.
Okay.
So, I assume that people, like, go to school for...
Keep in mind that you are a dude that lives in Char Hollow, a poor district.
I'm not asking for, like, specifics of the program. I'm asking, like... So they probably
It's
go
not
to
a
school.
program either. It's not like a thing where it's like, here, through the College of Duskful. There's actually a College of Duskful.
You have... to be a magistrate, you have to go to school for some amount of time, I assume.
the thing is that it's not like modern day where it's like you have to pass the bar exam. It is Duskfall in Victorian England.
You could be a lawyer if you asked nicely enough.
Yeah, if enough rich people go, yeah, you're good. You can just do it.
Well, then I don't know. I feel like if I the only thing I can think to ask these people is, how did you get in with your magistrate? But that would be weird if you kind of just do it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the answer likely that you would know from the information Dove and Lady Drake have is their mom or dad has a lot of money.
All right.
This was a bad plan, and I apologize, but we can get something out of it, probably.
Is there a doorbell or a side door or like a servant's entrance anywhere?
It's not a doorbell, but you can probably like make your way around the house in some way if you want to like look around for side entrances.
I do.
Okay. This is definitely some sort of role you're gonna want to do here.
I
to, like,
assume this would be like either hunt or prowl. I'm thinking hunt because I am hunting for a thing, for a door. I'm trying. I guess.
I would need to dock you for that one.
Yeah, I forgot that survey is a thing. I don't want to roll survey, but
yeah. Yeah, just because you're not hunting a target right now necessarily.
Yeah,
You're kind of looking at a building. So this is probably
would it dock me to do prowl?
Prowl? It would limit the amount of information you're getting. I'm gonna say then your effect would be limited because of.
Oh my god, the thing tells me what each skill does. That's so helpful.
Yeah, you can sneak around here, but you're just not gonna get as much information just because you're using a not information gathering skill so much.
Okay.
So you'll effectively be limited, but it'll be risky. You could push for a higher effect if you'd like to.
I only have
as well.
1 point in those anyway.
I believe additionally, if you want to, you can accept a devil's bargain to get another die. That's just a general fact about Charter Hall. Is that if you want to like get another die, you can get a devil's bargain
That doesn't
to
sound
accept
too bad.
an amount of heat. I'll find out how much.
I mean, heat isn't great, but
There you go. The records in Charter Hall can be of particular interest to criminal sorts. Take a devil's bargain for +1 die to gather info here in exchange for 1 heat. The bluecoats are always watching for scoundrels like you. So if you want to take a devil's bargain to get additional die.
I think, how much heat did you say? +1 or +2?
Plus just 1.
Okay, then I will take a devil's bargain and roll, I think, survey.
Okay. Go ahead.
Which will bring me up to a total of 1 die.
Take a heat on your faction sheet as well.
That's fine.
But
Yes.
go ahead.
And what is the effect and...
I would say this is standard effect and risky. No one's pressing you right now, but there's definitely a chance that you're going to get some problems.
That's a 4.
A 4.
Which is not failing.
Heyo.
That's not a failure,
What
baby!
you get for a 4? What is the most interesting right now? For a risky action, on a 4 to 5, you do it, but you suffer a consequence, you suffer harm, and a complication occurs, you have reduced effect, you end up in a desperate position. Okay. Here's what happens. You're looking around the home, kind of peering into windows and such. You see there's kind of this grand foyer, and you see this like big staircase in the middle of it. It's about all you can kind of grab as you're circling around. You see, looking up and down, there's this balcony. Can't really see what's past that. And as you get around the back, you find a window into what seems to be like an abandoned kitchen. Not abandoned, but like not in use. And you notice that the bottom of it is cracked a bit. And to get a better peek in, you try and crack it a bit more. But as you push it up a bit, you touch this wire. And suddenly, you see all the lamps in the kitchen light up. And an alarm starts blaring from inside.
I'm gonna hightail it.
Yep. Yeah, you make it out.
Cool!
In the distance, you probably hear some, like, chatter from there. But you are long gone.
How do we, as a collective, feel about groveling? The way I see it, we have nothing. We have a man who is followed by an entourage. He has a connection to a gang that we have nothing positive with or around, and his house appears to be either out of use or wholly booby-trapped. We have nothing. Except for Drake. She knows that this is a test. She knows that this was a high goal. I just wonder what that would do for us.
We need her to be impressed with us. We need her to like us, so she can be our kind of foot in the door.
Mm-hmm. We can't grovel. Well, there might be one last chance before we ask her for help. I could just kind of skulk around. I know I do this pretty regularly, but it's something I'm good at. And one thing I'm really good at is observing. People, spirits, machines.
Hey, Orlin! Do you think if anyone would have come to his house, they would have done it? In the 4 days that you stood in front of this man's house?
What do you suggest I do? What do you suggest we do?
I suggest that we go to Lady Drake.
I know. Fine.
You all seem to think that the best way to go about this is to pretend that we are not out of our league. We are. And I think that right now, the best thing that we can do is admit that.
I don't like it, but you're right. Just wasn't ready to face that.
I am going to Lady Drake. You can come with me, if you'd like. Or you can keep getting beat up on the streets of Charter Hall.